While the aim should always be to minimize the time it takes to snatch or recover a vehicle and avoid causing further damage, the top priority is the safety of all involved. Everyone involved should have clothing and personal protective equipment appropriate to their role. Anyone in a hands-on role should have, as a minimum, warm and weatherproof clothing which covers their arms and legs, stout boots and strong gloves. This also applies to officials who wish to examine a damaged vehicle before it is recovered. High visibility jackets, hearing protection, hard hats and safety glasses may also be advisable for some roles. Jagged metal and broken glass are the most obvious hazards following a crash. Broken carbon fibre can also have sharp edges. Anyone clearing up damaged carbon fibre should make sure all of it is removed from the track and avoid breathing in any carbon fibre dust. Some parts of the car, the exhaust, engine and brake discs, may also be hot enough to cause serious burns. Spilt fluids, battery acid, fuel and hydraulic fluid are also a hazard. Remember that a fire that's been extinguished may flare up again. In rare cases, a strong acid may be produced, which could need hospital treatment to neutralize. If you suspect you may have been exposed, tell medical staff. So always wear protective gloves, avoid touching burnt material, and don't touch other clothing with gloves which have been in contact with burnt material. Remember, competitors may still be circulating while a recovery is taking place, so always keep your eyes and ears open and be ready to get to safety if necessary. The senior marshal on the scene has overall responsibility for dealing with the incident and directing the team of marshals until the recovery operator or snatch crew arrive. The senior marshal will usually be a post chief or incident officer, but may simply be the marshal with the most experience. However, everybody involved in a snatch or recovery is responsible for their own safety. So don't do anything you think is unsafe, no matter who asks you. Keep an eye on the safety of your colleagues and warn them if something starts to go wrong. Once the snatch crew or recovery operator takes control, marshals should follow their instructions, which may come direct or through the incident officer or senior marshal at the scene. Circuits which use commercial recovery operators have the reassurance that they will have the appropriate accreditation and training, in addition to having their skills and equipment regularly checked. It's important that equipment and recovery services provided by circuits themselves also meet appropriate standards. Marshals should provide any assistance the snatch or recovery operator asks for, unless they feel that doing so would compromise their safety. Take a good look around the area where the recovery is taking place for hazards such as soft or uneven ground and overhead obstructions like trees and signs. Provide information or advice, but remember that the snatch or recovery operator's decision on the strategy is final. If they don't need any assistance, find something else to do, such as providing fire cover or starting to clear up any debris or spillages. If you're concerned about safety at any stage during the recovery, tell the recovery operator. Ensure your own safety at all times and don't do anything that you feel is dangerous. Always have dry powder and foam fire extinguishers to hand during a recovery. Upgrade the cover if a vehicle's been involved in a fire or is leaking fuel, and ask for a fire tender to follow the recovery vehicle back to the pits or paddock. Remember that lifting equipment, strops, ropes and winch cables can break. What's more, competition towing eyes can fail and may be ripped free if subjected to anything more than the sort of force needed to pull the car onto the back of a trailer. No one apart from a trained recovery operator should ever get between a recovery vehicle and a vehicle that it's winching. A winch cable contains a tremendous amount of energy, enough to sever limbs if it breaks or the towing point pulls free from the vehicle. Putting something over the cable will help control the movement of that cable if it breaks. The safest place to be when a vehicle is being winched is behind the recovery truck. It may also be permissible to be behind the vehicle that's being recovered if it's on the flat and you can provide some assistance in maneuvering it. Never ever go beneath a vehicle that's being lifted by a recovery vehicle, And never ever sit on a vehicle or use the weight of your body to balance it whilst it's being lifted. With those safety points firmly in mind, let's look at how to assess the type of recovery that's needed and prepare the car for recovery.